So he buys the companies at a very low price, which he thinks would be promising in the future if he revives them. Kind of like my housing concept that I told. If I think this house would be promising, if I upgrade it I buy it at a cheaper value, maybe 30-50% below the other houses in the market, and revive it and then sell it for a profit.
Right. Do you know anything about what Jeffries Group is?
No.
I mean, the thing that I'm realizing for this guy, I don't know what his returns are because it's really hard to see, but if his returns consistently beat the indexes, and you just want to invest in Jeffries Group,
yeah,
it must be a pretty good thing if he's 96% in there.
I know,
and he's doing well.
And then what's the point of the other two?
That's what I'm saying. So that seems like that would just be a good investment in general.
Yeah.
Jeffries Group must be doing well if he's beating the indexes.
I'm gonna look up.
That's all he's invested in.
Look up Jeffries Group.
Yeah, look them up. That would be an interesting group to look up. I mean, just value investor, just riding one vehicle.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Everyone else coming up with these equations, he's just like, that's a good one. I'll stick with that.
Just throws a dart.
All right, sorry for going off topic. I was just noticing that.
No, that's all right. So my last one is Warren Buffett. He's been called the Warren Buffett of Canada. He also believes in long-term investment, like Warren Buffett, and he buys the securities when the market is low, and so he gets a good deal, like sale price.
Warren Buffett, Canada, he's Canadian, born and raised?
No, actually, I was reading he was born and he studied in India, but he migrated to Canada for MBA, and then he followed Warren Buffett, and he was like so convinced that he started following his philosophy and became the same.
Has Warren Buffett ever been called the Prem Watsa of Omaha?
No. Well, it's all about, like, he cannot be the Graham or Dodgeville.
Okay.
So he's senior to him, so the respect goes there, I guess.
Makes sense.
If I was really good, could I be the Prem Watsa of California?
Could be, you never know.
You'd have to be very good.
If you get that formula.
Yeah.
That we all are looking for.
Formula.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with the Ian Cumming in Sereno Valley.
I'm gonna buy Jeffrey.
I'm gonna just buy Jeffrey.
I'm like right there with the rest of them.
So here are the annual returns. If you notice, the annual return don't show that much of a difference as cumulative returns did.
Gross returns.
So here is the graphic representation. You can see the returns are higher while the risk is lower. And there the risk is higher but the returns are lower for S&P and Wilshire.
What does that tell you about modern portfolio theory?
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you about modern portfolio theory?
That risk versus return is not that great after all. Comparison is not so efficient.
Mm-hmm.
No, efficient frontier is not that efficient, maybe.
Do you know how they're calculating risk in this graph?
The cumulative or?
Oh, the previous one.
In this, yeah, the 20-year risk versus return.
Yes, they take the standard deviation, and then they find the covariance between the two, and then find the optimum point, which is the slope or the sharp, and that is the perfect point how they invest.
Do you think standard deviation is a good measure of risk?
For them, it's very important because they believe in risk, and they believe fundamentally that the higher the risk one is willing to take, the higher return one gets. But it's not the same for value investors because they try to buy things at a lower price, so their risk is minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, they believe in long-term investments, so the fluctuations of the market are not so important for them. It is, I mean, because inflation and other things are, but it's not like the fundamental concept for them. As you can see, when we add the returns, the difference between the S&P and the super investors get bigger and bigger. The same goes for the 5-year rolling returns, just different ways of comparing and proving the same point. But if you notice in all of them, the returns have been maximum for the super investors, while the risk or the volatility has been lowest for them. The 10-year rolling.
You mind going back to the rolling returns? How do you, why do you think it's beneficial to use the rolling period returns and analyze that data? Why do you think it's beneficial?
Because it adds the annual return, and you can see the total performance over the 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a bigger picture of how they have been performing over the stated years or
Mm-hmm.
given years, rather than just 1 year. The efficient frontier, so as I said, like they measure the risk and the return and try to get the optimum point where the both match, like you get the maximum return for the minimal risk. But super investors have been able to beat this throughout, and which is here. So the first one is the risk-free rate that you get from the treasury bond. The second one is the market portfolio, the S&P concept.
How did you calculate the risk-free rate?
This one is wrong actually, but I got the 20-year period. I've been calculating 20-year from 93 to 2011. So I got that from the data, and that's what I've used. Here I've mentioned 5.34, but actually it's 4.13 for December 2011. And because it's risk-free, the standard deviation is 0.
Good catch.
So, as you can see, when we evaluate two different concepts of value investment and market portfolio theory or the efficient market theory, we see that the super investors have been consistently able to beat the other theory. So there is something that they are not lucky and they have been following some fundamental concept which is different from what is taught academically to others. So the conclusion that market is inefficient, it's irrational, and if you're able to find the intrinsic value of a share and you invest in that, it does bring better and superior results than the risk and return comparison.
Would you invest your money with the value investors?
Sure, I would.
Yeah.
If you had to put 100% of your money with one of the investors, who would it be?
Warren Buffett.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. And after looking at that,
What if he's unavailable? Would you go to the
Pretty
Canadian?
much so.
Canadian Warren Buffett.
I'll see who's the second number.
Who's that one
It's
guy?
not 100%, so I have to make sure.
Ian?
Yeah, I'd go with Prem Watson. Look at those returns.
Well, he's the prodigy.
Oh yeah, that is a Canadian Buffett.
Yeah, the Canadian Buffett.
The Oracle of Toronto.
Any questions for me? Or have I answered all your questions, or?
All of them except the formulas, but yeah.
If you just said some random equations, we would probably just have to agree, because I don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, like, where do you think I lacked, or where can I improve myself? Because I'm seriously very new to finance.
Well, I mean, you did a good job. Are you in college right now? Are you taking classes at all?
I did take an online course in finance.
Okay.
From, I don't know if you guys have heard of Coursera.
Who?
Coursera.
Oh, Coursera?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't, but is it kind of like the iTunes U and the Con University?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, those are really good.
I did take a course on finance from there. But they also taught like modern portfolio theory and CAPM and all that.
Yeah, all my classes are heavily weighted with modern portfolio theory. And to come here and just, yeah, that's not true. It's like, got it. Thanks.
And it's good. I mean, the more you know, the more you can decide what's right.
No.
Yeah, when I was studying that, I believed totally in CAPM, but after seeing the comparison, I'm like so not following it now.
Yeah, well.
That's a good lesson in life. Anything you're taught, you should question and do your own research.
Yeah. In fact, I was reading one forum.
Yeah, just, I mean, test it and make people prove it or disprove it yourself, but, you know, just because someone teaches it or someone said it once doesn't mean it's the best method.
When I was doing my assignment, I was going through forums, and one of the students from Johns Hopkins, she had asked her professor, she's like, why don't you teach us this instead of the modern portfolio concept and the risk concept?
Teach us what, value investing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So because I was doing a lot of research on what's value investing, I had no idea what it is. So. It was nice to read that.
Well, good.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm new to finance, like maybe 4 months old.
Well, you've gotten a lot out of it so far. So it's good, and that's what the whole project is all about.
Thank you.
Let me go try and find Eric, see what he wants to do right now, okay?